Hello, welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play series on the VanillaCraft server. Right now, I'm just doing a little bit of fishing, waiting for those sheep over there. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to go shear him now. Waiting for these sheep to, regrow their wool because I need a lot of beds for my iron farm. I'm just going to do a little bit of fishing while I wait. Maybe I'll get lucky, get some enchanted books. Maybe I'll get some, get a better fishing rod or a better bow. I think if I did the math right, like 80 something pieces of wool. So this will be a bit of a task. But yeah, hopefully if they keep regrowing their wool that fast, this will go by pretty quickly. Between episodes, I got a lot of stuff done. As you can see, I have an elytra now. That is thanks to another one of my server mates, Masher MC, graciously provided me with an elytra. So I got that enchanted up. I got a bunch of rockets from the vote rewards on the server, as well as the netherite ingots for those two pickaxes. I got incredibly lucky because, well, netherite ingots don't show up very often as vote rewards. But yeah, I happened to get two within like a couple days of each other. I'm gonna do some fishing and I'll catch up with you once I'm done and we'll see what I got. And then, whoa! Whoa, what the hell happened there? Flying fish, apparently. Yeah, once I get all that done and have enough wool for all the beds I'm going to need for the iron farm, we'll go over and build said iron farm. All right, I'll catch up with you later. Alright, so that wasn't nearly as prosperous as I'd hoped. I got a bunch of fish that are cooking right now. And the only other thing to note I got, well, I did get a name tag, which I was hoping for, and this enchanted book with power 3 and loyalty 3. So that might come in handy a bit later, but for right now, not super great. I'm just going to put all this stuff away and then we'll go back to making an iron farm. So let's talk real quick about villager breeders. There's several different varieties. This is the one I usually go with. This revolves around putting some carrots in here. And it'll distribute the carrots to these two dispensers, which gives you villagers on demand, essentially. Pushing this button here will feed them the number of carrots they need. After a time, we'll get a baby villager. Like so. And then he'll sit here for a little bit and eventually grow up, go in that water, and then land over here. Right now I've got them surrounded so that they don't, get killed by zombies. Normally I'd put rails around here so I can just grab a villager whenever I need one. However, this villager breeder, while great because it controls the number of villagers you produce, isn't great for what we're looking for the iron farm. So let's go over there real quick and take a look at what I have in mind for that. So I've rescued these two villagers from a nearby village, and they're going to be pushed in service, or at least one of them is, helping me make more villagers for the iron farm. So we'll just break the bed to get him through there. When we pop over to the other side, he'll be hanging out here, unable to get through this little barrier I've placed here. But we can just plop, well, if you get out of my way, I'll plop that back down there, get him back in the boat, and row slowly away. And yeah, we're going to take this guy all the way over to spawn. And as the sun sets on yet another Minecraft day, I find myself here, rowing across an ocean with a villager in tow. Still rowing. I never realized quite how far away I live from spawn until I have to make this trip several times with villagers. Still rowing. Still rowing. Land ho! I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're here. Finally. So over here at spawn, I've set up a different type of village breeder. This one is way more automated. It relies on two farmers who will sit here and pick these carrots. When they get enough carrots, they'll toss them back and forth to each other. And then spawn a baby in there. That baby will see these extra beds and want to go jump on them, so they'll run across here, fall into this water stream, and they will end up over here. When they grow up, they'll rise up, land over there, and again I have rails that I can pick these villagers up and transport them wherever I need to go. Alright, so we're back here, and I think I've gathered up all the resources I'm going to need. Hopefully this is enough deep slate to get me through. But this should cover all the materials I need to build the iron farm. So yeah, we're going to cut into the time lapse and build this thing up. Hopefully these villagers will continue breeding while I do that, and maybe I'll have a few to show for it by the time I'm ready for them. Alright, let's go. Oh boy, well, it's actually been quite a while since that time lapse ended. Yeah, lots of things have happened. First, there's a saying in carpentry, which is measure twice, cut once. Basically means make sure you have everything right before you do something that's going to be real hard to undo. Well, that applies for building iron farms too. See, what I realized after I got some of the villagers up there is that I built the platforms too close together. So I basically had to remove all the villagers and then reposition all of the platforms and then put all the villagers back up there. And in the process, I realized that it'd be probably best to expand the bottom part out as well. All right, let's take a quick look up there, and I'll show you all the stuff that I did to change it. So I expanded out the water trough that catches all the villagers. And just to make sure I did it right, I actually was measuring with slabs. These were too close, so I had to move them both sides out by one. You see, I also swapped out the extra trapdoors, keeping them in for chains, because I think those extra trapdoors were actually blocking line of sight to this villager when he'd pop up. And of course, I added in the fence gates and the water that I didn't do in the time lapse. But now that all of that is done, an incredible amount of time later, the iron farm's working pretty well, actually. Oh yeah, another thing that happened is while I was building during the time lapse, these villagers both died somehow. So I had to bring new villagers over, and that took forever. And then I had to sit here and wait for them to get, to populate. Clearly, they've been doing a good job at that since I redid things, and a bunch of iron golems also got out. So we're going to have to do some cleanup. But first, we're going to actually finish out this iron farm by extending the hopper chain, because right now there's no centralized place to get iron from. And so what we're going to end up doing is, I think since it's a server-wide thing, I'm going to put chests all along the end of this. When people show up for iron, they can get just iron for days. Yeah, and then we'll probably add also a filter to filter out the poppies and turn them into some bone meal. So we'll get a little bit of bone meal as well as a whole boatload of iron. I'll have to take down this villager breeder. But yeah, first thing is got to go is all these iron golems, because, well, if I start killing the villagers, you're not going to appreciate that. So yeah, we're just going to have to do one of these. 1, 2, 3. That should be good enough. And I can start murdering a bunch of iron golems. So yeah, I'll crack on with that. Catch up with you once this place is all cleaned up. Alright, now that all the villagers have vacated the premises forcefully, it's time to take this down, and we'll put up a sorting system and a bunch of chests for iron. And then this thing will finally be done, and I can move on with my life. Okay, so it's been a while. We're back. And I may have gone a little bit overboard with the storage here, but I mean, if this, I did finish this last night, and it's already filled up 16 double chests. Oh, well, sorry, even more. Almost 17 double chests of storage. So, I mean, maybe I haven't gone overboard, but in any case, we'll have plenty of iron for anyone on the server, for anything they need, I hope. If someone needs more iron than this, then they're doing something absolutely insane. But I just want to show you real quick the redstone I did to do the sorting system, because I'm a little bit proud of it. So this isn't the quietest system in the world, but as you could hear, I couldn't really hear it around the front. This should be far enough away that you don't really hear anything, so I don't care if it's loud. But yeah, so all of the items basically filtered into this hopper line right here, and I've put furnaces on top of them just to cut down on the server lag. Once everything ends up in this dropper right there, it'll trigger that comparator, which pushes that observer over, causing a clock to essentially move all the items up here. Any of the iron will just go through and get funneled into this giant system here. But I have an item filter right here that will pull out any poppies and drop them into the composter, sorry. And then they get filtered out into these chests, and it's producing quite a bit of bone meal also. The cool part, and I love it when I can do this, where I have redstone that performs double duty. When this redstone line powers, it also triggers this dropper right here. And this dropper is the overflow for essentially if all of this gets filled up and we have more more bone meal coming in than we have space for, it'll eventually fill up and end up in this hopper right. Ooh, this hopper right here, or sorry, not hopper, this dropper right here. So every time a new piece of bone meal comes through, anything that's in here is going to get triggered and dumped out into that lava bucket. So we have a disposal system that uses the redstone of the item filter to dispose of it. And so I always find that really cool and handy when that works. Now that I've displayed that, let's just block this all up so that we don't have to look at any of it anymore. Oops. I just have to make sure not to cover that right there. And yeah, that should be everything all done. We're going to do the same thing down here, except having a different trigger because, well, there's no filter on this one. But we're going to have another filter there for any extra iron that we end up having. And yeah, that will be the iron farm completely finished. I think I'm going to cut the video here, though, because, man, this took way longer than I anticipated it doing. I mean, even just getting all the wood for this chest took me about 3 hours. And yeah, all the other problems I had with it along the way meant that what I thought would have taken me like 2 nights, maybe 3 nights to do, took me about a week. And so we'll stop here, and next time we'll get into nether tunnel mining. I appreciate everybody sticking around, coming out to see what's going on, and I will catch you all next time. Bye.